Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for Update 102, Experimental Build 1 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Bam! Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, as you just heard in the intro, we actually have a build for you to play this week. This will be the first build going onto the experimental branch. And if you don't know what the experimental branch means, we'll cover it at the end, because we're going to jump right into our toys for this week. That's right, it's build, which means it's time for some new guns. So the first gun that we have got this week is a whole family of them. This is a beautiful set that was done by the artist Ole. I've actually had them for quite a while, never put the finishing touches on them, and so I'd like to present to you the AR-18 family. So this is our full-length AR-18 rifle. Just looking absolutely gorgeous. Let's get a good look at that receiver. Load that up. It's got 20, 30, and 40 round mags. Try it on semi first. Really great sight picture. Of course, my tracking is a little pissy in that direction. You can see there, and on full auto. Wonderful. As I said, this is we've got a family of these. So we've got the full-length rifle here. Don't have a table next to me, so we'll put you there. We have the Carbine version, which is a little more compact. Has that cool-looking flash hider on the front. And of course, these have some bespoke attachments. You can see it has a proprietary rail at the top, which can either just take a Picatinny rail adapter or the dedicated scope, which I absolutely love. This is a 2.75. Super clear to look through. Let's just check it out at a slightly different distance. Oh, that's just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And of course, this is it in a pistol configuration. Well, I saw one of these up on an auction site and decided to do this form of it. Obviously, without a stock, it's a little harder to control, but plenty of fun. Oh, what a beautiful set. Happy to finally get these in the game. Not quite as widely known of a firearm family, obviously, as say the AR-15, but very much still impactful to the to firearm history. I love stockless rifles and how uncontrollable they are in this game. All right, next up we've got a Butte that just happens to be the first Ukrainian gun in the game. It's our F12 Pistol, 12 shots of 9x18 Makarov. Truth be told, I was looking at this and I was like, I love the lines on it, love the shape. Would absolutely enjoy firing one of these in real life, but I guess I'll have to settle for the one in H3. Beautiful compact piece here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then lastly, because I can't get enough of revolvers, we've got the LC-22R here, 8-shot 22LR double action hammerless. Beautiful little piece. Fast firing, super easy to control, just keep a tight group. Like such. And awfully handsome looking. Great stuff. Bammo. But obviously, you're not just here for the toys. You want to know about what we've been getting going in the Grillhouse scenes. So in addition to some wonderful decorations by Lucas that help sort of fill out a little bit of what exactly this space is, this is the Grillhouse XL, the luxury residential bunker. And there's all sorts of fun flavored text and, for you to check out in the various annex buildings for it. But to make this a more usable sort of play space, we have this scenario panel here. Now, just to preface this, this is a prototype. This is importantly temporary, because a whole bunch of what this panel does is things that I want to generalize and eventually make user configurable and user savable. But before I could get that done, I needed to really make sure that all of its various options are what folks want, what they need, and making sure that they're nice and efficient and easy to use. So right now on this panel, you can see that we have a map of the scene. That is the top down there. And we have options basically for spawning attack groups, guards, patrols, and snipers. Right now it's only set to allow them to spawn relative to our main building here, because I haven't authored all of the points for the others. I'm going to try to get a few more in before it is build time today. And then we can select our SOSIG type for it. So we could say, let's see here, I guess let's just make it hard to begin with. Let's go spawn snipers at. We're going to pick 6 of them, and we're going to spawn them in main, and they're going to be guards. So we're going to get ready and go. Oh. Let's see where they are. Oh, that one's still up there. Just suppress him. That one isn't down. Oh. That one looked like it was doing the new flea behavior. Oh, is he up? Oh, he's down. Whew. Right. And 1, 2. Oh. Whoa! All the way up in that building. That's not very fair. All right, let's actually get a higher position. Come in here. Could just, yep, let's just unlock that. Pull this open. Suppress him for a sec. Do a ladder pop. And just shoot through the wall to bring that one down. I think that was all of them. Was it? We still have one over here? I think that was all of them. So yeah, so that is a sniper group. If we come down here, clear all SOSIGs. We can also spawn sort of guards for the house. Like, actually, before we'll do guards in a sec, we can do attackers. Right now, I would like to eventually have a few more attack paths so they're a little less predictable. But as soon as I spawn this should spawn 6 of them. Where are they? Oh, there they are.
Over here. What's over there? And that was a good one.
Boom. Perfect. So yeah, so we can do that. We can spawn. Oh, we can spawn patrols, which one of them is going to attack me the moment because I'm just standing outside. This is designed for, like, say, if we wanted to... Oh, I don't know, actually. Let's teleport over to Annex E here. Spawn a patrol for the main building. Put that in my pocket. So we're starting down here in the corner. Around here. I still need to add a way to get onto the roof of this building without using the grapple. Oh! Oh, did I get him? Yep.
On Earth?
And there's still probably one up on the top of the building.
I wonder what that is.
It's me. And then let's, while we're at it, let's just grab ourselves a, ooh, grab you. You're perfect. All right, let's go. Up on here. Boom! Got him. So yeah, so that spawns your sort of patrols. The patrols basically ping pong between a series of points outside. So if for the main building, 2 of them are circling the building, and a third one is up on the roof. And then, oops, that was already locked. I really need to make that more of a visual indicator, you know, years later. And then we can spawn guards inside the building.
Got any aspirin? What's over there?
Come back up here.
That.
Oh goodness, out of ammo. Ah!
What's going on over here? Huh? Meat market's been real rough lately.
Boom.
Oh.
Well done, guys. Good demo. And I dropped my panel. I really do. I need to. This is one of the like tooling things that I want to eventually figure out. Is that like obviously when you're in a scene that uses scenarios like this, you want to be able to just recall the panel to your wrist. So I'll probably end up adding that to the wrist menu when it's in a scene that supports it. Oh, this is. I understand why so many of you are like, can you just add a way to just auto reset these quickly so we can just play instead of laying SOSIGs down manually? Because, man, it is fun. Random mix. Oh, those 2 look serious.
There.
Oh, that's a nade. Oh. Love playing hide and seek around this building. Is he in the building? Bam-o! You got any more? Any more of you jerks? I don't think so. Go get his grenade, though. Wow. Perfect. Anyone else around here? That was not very far. There we go. Whew. So there you have it. That is what is available in our test build. Wonderful stuff. Anywho, let's jump out of VR and talk about what this means that this is an experimental build and other things that you should be aware of with it. Yo! So yes, this is it. We finally have an experimental build. So what's an experimental build? So basically, this is rougher than an alpha. And it's rougher than an alpha in a couple ways. One, if you are running mods of any kind, this build is not going to work. It's gonna somewhere in between crash or just not initialize properly. Somewhere in between. I'm not even sure. The point of the experimental branch is for me to work on new things in a way that is not attempting to maintain perfect compatibility with anything, but is super rough. Moreover, because of the fact that it contains really new features, likely large sections of the game are not going to behave the way they used to. They might break completely. And so in the case of 102 here, this is probably, all put together, the largest set of systemic changes to the game's AI system since the SOSIGs were invented. Pretty much all the other changes that have come to the SOSIGs, even the ability to make them melee, were incremental and deeply tested at each one of those steps. And they weren't really that large of changes, all said and told. This stuff, this is huge. Between the sort of changes to their sort of passive threat entity systems based upon sort of whether that's enabled in a scene, there all the alertness changes for them, some stuff involving their sort of FOV and max vision ranges. Yeah, I mean, you can go back and look at the last 2 months of devlogs if you want to see an exhaustive list of everything that has changed, but it's been pretty massive. And so there might be assumptions both from a code standpoint and from a design standpoint about their behavior that are no longer true, that will cause certain things in Take and Hold and Rotwieners and the Kappa Coliseum scenes to behave differently than they have in the past. And the purpose of the experimental branch is to go find those issues. And so given that, this is so important because I don't want these streams crossed for tracking things. Do not report bugs on the experimental branch in the bug reports section. There's going to be a completely separate section of the Steam forum that is just for the experimental branch, for sort of bringing up issues, talking about balance, things like that. I'm less concerned with bugs right now than I am issues of like, the SOSIGs used to charge and attack in this way that was like, in this mode or in this context, and now they're doing something different. Is this intentional? I like it more, I like it less. Things along those lines, because there's still a lot of stuff to tune here. The Path 2 system is not complete. It's about 80% complete or so, and will eventually replace a lot of the sort of built-in patrolling behavior once it has been fully tested. Yeah, they're going to fight. They're going to act differently, especially with the new sort of fleeing state that is in there when they're disarmed. Hopefully that should make them feel slightly less constantly suicidal as agents, but that may be non-desirable in certain contexts. So I may need to be able to tweak that and be able to say, set a SOSIG that still like has a brain and can lose its equipment to be able to be like fearless, for example. So that isn't built into the config template, but it may need to be, just to be able to represent all of the different types of behaviors that we've experienced in H3 mode since. So yeah, so all of that is in all the SOSIG off-mesh link traversal stuff, like the ladder climbing and the jumping. Obviously, there's still some stuff I really want to tune. Like right now, you probably noticed it with the snipers there in the Grillhouse. The moment some of them engaged, they started moving from their point, and that included going onto an off-mesh link. And so that's still something that I need to work on, basically sort of internal overrides, so that when they're set to guard, they actually freaking guard, and they don't just, go running off and things like that. There's some new ways. Anytime I make a new scene with a new set of topologies, I find some edge case of existing state behavior where they don't do what I expect them to, and then I have to reconsider it. But as I said, that's part of the point of all this stuff. All those new weapons are in. Oh, and importantly, this is the first version of the game that has an internal version numbering system, as well as a sort of internal version type tracker. So this will print it to the log, which will make it easier for me to debug things in the future. But those of you who make mods now have the ability, starting with this build, obviously, is to sort of fork behavior. So in the future, if there's sort of like major changes in update 103 in the future, you'll be able to be like, if it's 102 and older, do X. If it's 103 and above, do Y. To make some of these, I know that this transition, because of all the stuff I had to change in terms of SOSIG code and take and hold code, and am still going to be changing, this is going to be a little bit rough of a transition. Those of you who run mods, please be patient with the mod framework people and the mod makers. It will take a while probably to bring everything up to spec on this. And so this is part of the reason for having separate branches. So you can continue to play the game. If you prefer to play modded and you load like 100 mods, you probably just want to stay on the main branch for now. But if you want to run the game vanilla for now or help out any of those folk in testing things as they upgrade them, jump over to the experimental branch. Things will then move to a branch called Mod Safe Alpha once I sort of get the all clear from the folks who make the mod frameworks that all of their code is now compatible with what is in this build. And so that will then be essentially the second phase of testing for everyone who loads 150 mods into their game to play to make sure everything works. And then once I get the sort of all clear and am done with my own work and my own testing and things like that, things will move to the main branch. So I know this whole process has become a little bit more convoluted, but as I said, I've played enough games over the years that have had deep frictions between sort of like their needed release schedule and this large bank of external custom content. I've seen instances where things become sort of like mod graveyard for several months at a time, sort of thing. So I want to avoid the things that have annoyed me as a game player in the past, as a game creator, as much as possible to help this be smooth and to try to minimize headaches on the part of the wonderful folk who make extra content for this game. So cool. That just about does it. I am exhausted. I'm going to run off now after editing and uploading this to finish. I'm going to see if I can get a few more sort of assault and guard point groups and things into this scene before it is time to push a build. So yeah. Hope you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend playing with the new build. Once again, please, patience. I'm sure a bunch of stuff is broken. That's going to be part of this process, and it'll all get fixed eventually. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace.